on FM. We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
The program presented are submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Hi everybody, welcome to Today with Cachet. I am Dr. Willie Villarreal. Y'all can call me Dr. V for short. I am in the captain's chair today,
Woo!
trying to fill in for
What
Cachet.
the heck?
Huge boots to fill today, but thank God I have my friends with me.
Yes.
You know, Cachet and Jason and Aisha.
Yeah, we're here.
Hey, everybody.
They'll be my support
Oh my
staff.
God, let me see how this one looks. I don't know if I look good in this seat. Oh my God. Okay, keep going. Don't talk.
We're all in
don't turn it
different
over.
chairs
Get back
today.
to him.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
go
trying to
ahead.
sit up straight because my wife said last week to sit up straight. So we're happy to announce. I feel very, very, very blessed. Actually showed up as a guest last week and was blessed with the opportunity to be moving forward to head the health and wellness show moving forward. And I think we'll be doing that starting Thursday the 19th at from 12 to 1.
Yeah.
We're still looking at names and things like that, so we want something catchy. But basically, we will be wanting to really look at everything health, wellness related, fitness, mind, body, spirit, everything. You know, we'll be having guest speakers, guest spots,
Yeah.
and basically content experts each week. So I hope y'all tune in. But basically today is just going to be it's a crash course for me, because understand this is live, so if I mess up,
You're seeing
forgive
all
me.
around the world, Doctor.
I know.
They're watching you. They're watching, but
No
you know
pressure at
what?
all.
It's great.
I
What
know.
we love about
Yeah.
it is it's all natural and organic. So
Yes.
just
So-
how you are. So
Well, I try. So one of the things, my wife is kind of my main support, and so she gave me a lot of tips this morning, and number one was sit up straight.
are you sitting straight?
I'm sitting straight
Okay.
now. Number two was the main thing is just remember it's not about you. Okay, so understand that she said you've been given this amazing platform to kind of help in health and wellness and fitness and kind of share the information, and so it's not about like me. It's about the message and trying to help people, just like we do every day at our job. A lot of us got into medicine because we wanted to help people, but the problem is once we get into medicine, it's like we're helping very few people, with conventional traditional medicine.
Right.
But so there's more to it than what we're doing right now. But that was the thing, is that she's like, okay, you got this platform now. What are you going to do with it? So today is going to be more of we're going to give some basic tips on nutrition and kind of sound off with like Jason and I and Aisha and you but I think it's really important first to kind of know like who I am, where my heart is, like so people understand, and then can decide if they want to tune in.
Oh, they're going to tune
on.
in.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to
Tune
tune
in or
in
not.
and watch him, okay?
So number one, I'm just going to kind of lay it out as far as I'm very, very passionate about God and faith.
Amen.
Number one, family, friends, my very, very close friends, but health, fitness, performance, recovery, music.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it'll be everything. So very passionate about a ton of stuff, sports. So who knows what it'll be each week. Everything, yes, will be health and fitness and wellness related, but who knows where it's going to go each week, right? So that's kind of what I kind of wanted to lay out, and a little bit about my background. So it's been everywhere. And last week was really we couldn't. Like I said, it was just kind of
There's so many
it was
topics,
unexpected.
and
It was
there's
so many
much.
topics.
Right.
And so my mind the past week has been going crazy, and I'm going to have this person and that person.
Yeah.
And a really good friend of mine, Ike White and Brian Jenkins, they're from here in the Woodlands area. They really, are big, just like I am, on mind, body, spirit. So you have to have all three to really be well-rounded and centered and well and healthy. So that's why each week I really want to focus on a different component of that.
Wow.
Moving forward, I think today will just be a really, really important basic introduction.
Yeah.
Right. But myself, it's been my whole career has been a progression. So I started out as a surgical tech, worked in surgery. I wanted to be a coach, like almost everybody else. I went to college to be a coach, and then just found medicine and surgical tech. Moved my way up to RN, and then I got my bachelor's and I got my master's as a nurse practitioner. I became an RN first assistant along the way. So I've assisted in surgery for over 25 years. I own a surgical assist company. But my passion was always in heart, so I did open heart surgery. So I've kind of seen firsthand the ravages of poor diet, poor lifestyle, things like that from the inside out.
Wow.
So I actually not from here, from Conroe, the Woodlands area. I'm from Corpus Christi, from a little town called Alice, right outside Corpus Christi. I was recruited here 20 years ago to work on the heart team, actually, at Conroe Regional. A lot of people don't realize Conroe Regional has a very, very progressive heart program. And I was recruited there to work on the heart team, and I did a lot of the vein harvesting. I assisted, but I did the vein harvesting where I would, take the vein out of the leg, the saphenous vein, and prepare it for the bypass for the heart.
Are you kidding me?
And that's what
pretty,
I would,
pretty
yeah.
serious.
It was fun, but what
Wow.
was even cooler about it was we did it endoscopically. So instead of filleting the leg open like we used to conventionally,
goes to the
we
ankle,
use a
huh?
scope.
Yeah.
We use anywhere from the ankle to the knee to the hip, and we just, instead of opening the leg, we would make 2 little incisions. So basically, all that to say is I've seen from the inside out kind of the ravages of our poor standard American diet, right? So that kind of led me to I've always been into fitness and sports and nutrition. And so what I mentioned it last week, what I started learning and what I brought to medicine was I saw what really, really worked well to have an athlete performing very, very well, just translated really well to just people that wanted to feel good.
First call's
First
coming in.
call.
They're already
Oh,
calling you.
sorry.
Okay, this is
We're
not
not
fair.
calling yet.
This is not
We
fair.
will be
I
taking
never got
calls.
the calls like you.
We will be taking calls.
Okay, we will be taking calls, but anyway, keep going. Yeah.
So that's where that came from, and I think a lot of the I really follow now along the lines of the Dr. Mark Hyman's. So it's not just me. There's a whole movement of people seeking better. There's Dr. Mark Hyman that I really look up to, and everywhere from Ben Greenfield to Dave Asprey to all the people that are kind of leading
Yeah.
the charge. Dr. Jason Fung, they're out there. My goal is to kind of help people, because a lot of these people have never even heard of some of these people.
Right.
A lot of people have that are in health and wellness, but a lot of people haven't. So one of my goals is going to be to kind of just point people in the right direction, and then have the right content experts. And then it may be one day, like I said, really, really picking Jason's brain as far as health and wellness
Yeah.
and fitness.
Sure.
Because you want to talk about fitness? I mean,
The combination.
oh, look at,
right?
I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
I mean, so
look at Jason.
Yeah, Jason, you want to talk
Yeah.
briefly
Yeah.
about, because y'all two are going to be working in tandem as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
we Willie and I I think we read almost all of the same stuff and listen to the same thing.
Right.
So a lot of the information you'll get will be very, very much focused in the same direction. And shoot, I was listening to Ben Greenfield on the way here this morning.
Oh, wow.
Talk about hyperbaric oxygen
Yeah,
therapy,
yeah.
which was just a couple days ago. So, so those things that I like to get into. I'm really a very hands-on guy. I've been a personal trainer since I was 14 years
Oh
old.
my God.
I started at the
We couldn't tell by
YMCA at
looking
14.
at it.
So I've got about, that gives me, 26 years
That's a
under a
lot.
bar.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
I've tried everything from powerlifting to bodybuilding, and except CrossFit. I hadn't tried that
You
one.
need to
but-
try it.
But that's what he does. So
fine.
it's a really good mesh of all the different styles
Yeah.
of everything out there, and we like to really dig in. And I'm really interested in the marathon coming up this weekend. How does he approach his clients with that, and how is
versus
compared
what-
to
yeah.
versus what we do, and how can we make that work together? And it's actually really simple.
Well, I'm just excited. I want to say real quick, I know we're going to take a quick commercial break in a minute, but I truly believe, you mentioned God first, but I truly believe all having met you, and all this has come together to create the next level of the show and where it needs to go. Who knows? I'm all about organic, and so I know that this is the next move that it's supposed to be, so I'm thankful that you two have come on board. Aisha will still come in once a month.
Yes, we need help.
She's going to make once a month
We need help.
appearances and still do some demonstrations.
Yes.
I may make appearances every so often, but I still will be here Tuesdays and Fridays, so you still will get to see me on the show on Tuesdays and Fridays, and every so often when these guys will let me visit. But so please go ahead, and then in about a minute or so we can take a commercial. Yeah.
Awesome. And then, moving forward, I ended up, as far as my career, we opened up Core Sports Recovery because I kind of had a passion for sports performance and recovery.
Yeah.
And there's a whole other section that people don't even know is out there until they get into college or the pros or stuff, And so what we want is like to bring it to the younger crowd. So like we're across the street from Conroe High, so we allow the varsity athletes to come in and do cryo, all the recovery modalities for free. Just because I want them to experience that and know what recovery is and learn it at an early age. So, but I got my nurse practitioner and it really, like I said, really practice integrative. I would call it integrative, functional type medicine. Integrative meaning I believe in all different aspects. Okay, instead of saying we're the best and we're the best, there's validity and benefit to chiropractic, to holistic naturopathic. It's acupuncture. Is it going to hurt anything? No, try it. So everything all together, and I'm a big believer in that, but. And we try to bring in everything and try to not be just, hey, I know everything, I'm the ultimate authority, just listen to me.
Lean
and that's
on
kind
whatever you need
lean
to.
on whatever
Other
you need
options,
to. Other
right,
options.
yeah.
And if you have to, like I had a patient this morning that came in asking me about grounding, about, and believe it or not, guess where we heard it from? Thank God. His neurologist.
Oh.
And he said, I know this is going to sound woo. And I said, no.
Lay it on me.
Lay it on me.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, she told me about grounding. What do you think? And I
Wow.
said, yeah, try. Is it going to hurt anything? No.
Yeah.
So it's one of those where
So-
you always look at the risk-benefit ratio. Yeah.
I'm sure we have to take a commercial when we come back. I want to talk. I'm sure a lot of people just heard that and they're like, grounding.
Yeah,
What in the
yeah,
hell
yeah.
is he talking about?
It's like woo-woo.
Let's get into that. Let's get into
So
that.
take us to a commercial, and we'll be right back.
Sure. Well, we will be right back after a short commercial from our sponsors.
Thank you.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Cupcakes and Bubbles, located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant, and it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands, and I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY
Turn on your glam today.
91.1
The Jenna
FM.
Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein lip gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
We all want to protect what we love. And we know that child safety seats and seatbelts save lives. Yet 3 out of 4 kids aren't buckled in correctly. And in 2016, 42% of Texas teens who died in crashes weren't wearing a seatbelt. Don't be a statistic. If you love it, click it. That includes you, too. Buckle up. Every rider, every ride.
Woodlands Prime Lending, offering business loan programs for all types of endeavors. Need a startup loan, equipment financing, or even a business line of credit? Woodlands Prime Lending offers a variety of commercial loans to help you get funded when you need it. Call 713-900-7170 or visit us on our website at woodlandsprimelending.com to schedule an appointment today. Getting a loan is easy with Woodlands Prime Lending.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Welcome back to Today with Cachet. I am Dr. V. Again, for people that are just joining us, I am going to be heading up the new health and wellness spot, and we will be starting that on Thursday the 19th and we'll be moving from 12 to 1. And I appreciate the time move because I have clinic that day. And
are you kidding me, doctor?
Yeah.
You need a new time?
Yeah.
And so that
pushy.
worked very, very, very well. But I'm super excited about the opportunity, and we'll be sharing a lot of really cool and unique and interesting information from the health, wellness, and a lot of stuff that y'all probably have never heard. One of them that we kind of mentioned, and Jason, make sure we bring it back up, is we kind of mentioned grounding, and I had a patient ask about that. A lot of people may look at it as real woo-woo, and that's what he said. Actually, he said, "No, it's some hippie stuff." You know, that's what the patient said, and I said, "No." I said, so there's a lot of validity. There's actually a lot of studies on it, and we're kind of with the same mindset, like you said. We listen to a lot of the same thought leaders, right? And they are really thought leaders. And you, like myself, why we're like-minded is we do like to test a lot of the things that we recommend.
Yep. Exactly.
To make sure on ourselves.
Yeah.
And just like you said,
I'm
you're
my
an
favorite
experiment.
guinea pig.
Yeah, me too.
You have
Yeah.
to be,
Me
right?
too.
Absolutely.
Like, how do you know?
You know, how can I tell somebody to
Yeah.
go stand barefoot in the
Yes.
yard
Yes.
with their eyes closed, facing the
Yeah.
sun for 10 minutes every
Yes.
morning
Right.
if I don't do it myself?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, like let the let the listener
So
know how
Yeah,
it
you know,
let the
there's
viewers and listeners
there's
know about this.
there's a lot of
Oh, that's right. We're
yeah,
viewers.
there's a lot of ways that people really try and feel better, right? And they just want to feel better. One of the best ways you can do that is with sun exposure, and just by reconnecting with the earth. As crazy as that sounds,
Yep.
we've been walking the earth for what, 8,000 years
Yeah.
or so, you know, give or take a couple. And something that we've really gotten away from is our connection to
Yeah.
the earth itself, to the ground, to the dirt, to the grass, to the sun.
There's
And-
actually a frequency. There's a frequency. It's I believe it's like 7.8 hertz or megahertz, 7.8, and it's an earthing. It's an earthing frequency. So we actually can recreate that with PEMF, with pulse. So you can do that, you know, artificially, but the body feels it the same way.
And what does it really do? Is this grounding you again? I mean, what is it? I mean, I use that terminology because of
So
grounding.
I kind of said it last
Yeah.
week. I kind of
Yeah.
said we've moved so far away, and you kind of mentioned it, from how we're supposed to function primally, that we're sick. We don't go
You
out in the
did say
sun. We're basically cave dwellers. Like
Yeah.
we get up at start. We we go to work and we're inside under artificial light all day, and then we go home and it's dark and we've never seen the sun, and then we wonder why we can't sleep. You know, so the sun itself does a lot of things. And again, when we've mentioned stuff, understand that we're not saying, oh, just go out in the sun and you're going to heal this, and we don't claim to heal or heal any medical condition, but understand these are the basic foundations of health and wellness. And when people come in to see me, they say, hey, what supplement should I take? And I'm like, oh, back up. Like, how do you eat? What do you drink? Do you go out in the sun? How do you sleep? Basic stuff. And then we can supplement. So sun, it was called heliotherapy. The gladiators did it. They literally made them lay out in the sun, and there's a lot of physiological benefits that happen from it. One of the things that happens is it actually brings blood to the surface, and it increases nitric oxide in the body. Well, nitric oxide helps, but we're trying to take nitric oxide supplements, arginine, all these things, beetroot powder, all these things to help with blood flow. And literally one of the easiest things you can do is go out in the sun. 10 to 15 minutes. Because here's the other thing is one of my favorite things that I will be kind of bringing up each week in the show is kind of medical myths or myths my doctors told me.
That's
or
huge.
there's even a book by Dr. Ken Berry that says, lies my doctor told me. It's a really good book. But basically, that's one of the easiest things you can do is sun. The sun, understand the sun, nobody's advocating a sunburn or overexposure.
Yeah. Too much of anything's not good, right?
But we've lost the ability to be out in the sun. In the early 1900s, 80 to 90% of the U.S. workforce, or the U.S. worked outside. By the 1970s, less than 10%. Okay, so we've kind of lost our ability to be out in the sun. So one of the things is we kind of binge drink, like we binge drink. So instead of we don't go out in the sun all week long. And then we go on Saturday and try to lay out for 8 hours, and then we burn. And then so that's kind of the same thing with binge drink. Like you don't want to binge drink because it's worse for you. So little 10 to 15 minutes of exposure every day. If you can, earlier the better, before noon. And I understand, that sounds like very easy. It can be hard for some people, but try to be intentional. Like some people, you can go outside. They'll allow. I mean, they're not going to lock you in a room.
And we live in an area where the sun is so prevalent over the year. So to say you can't get 10 or 15 minutes out here is ludicrous.
Crazy.
And so always look. So again, whenever I recommend something, is it going to hurt anybody? No. Does it have a lot of actually documented health benefits? Yes. Try it. So do the basic stuff. But like going back to grounding, grounding is another thing, and it's bare feet. I have a really good friend, Brad Overstreet, who has also been a trainer for a long time into health and nutrition, and he was always very big about it. We always thought it was weird, and he'd walk around barefooted, and but now it's like a lot of data, But it's very, very, very. It's a basic foundational need, and it actually does reconnect you to there. And there's a lot of studies on it, so you can look them up.
More and more, you can learn more about it.
Well, I knew nothing about this, and let me tell you, for years, when my kids get the sniffles or I don't feel good, I say go stand outside in the sun for a minute and come back. Because it worked. It helped.
Why do you think you feel so good on vacation? Okay, one of the best ones is to actually go out in seawater. There's actually seawater in the sand.
I heard that.
And in the sun. So, when you're on vacation, you're exposed to sun, you're relaxed.
Right.
So that's another, your
cortisol levels
are low. So what does that do? Sex drive is up. Libido, everything is up.
Okay.
It is. It does. But
Doctor
it's
said it.
Overall,
I just got back from Cancun and it was great.
Okay, there we go. There's a testimony right there. Okay, I need a vacation. I'm on a vacation.
It really, really allows you to reconnect. Just reconnect. And it's easy. It's free. It's free. So some of the time, some of the weeks we'll be talking about certain modalities and certain things to do, and they cost. But there's so many things that are free that don't cost anything.
That we've gone away from.
That we've gotten away from.
We can literally just start getting back into it.
And
that's what a lot of your method is, just really the holistic way, and only introducing the medicine when necessary.
Again,
but keeping I love that.
The medicine doesn't work if I give them, let's say, a statin. Okay?
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier, a statin. But then they continue to go eat a terrible diet. So what they do is the doctor goes, hey, you don't have a risk of heart disease. Your cholesterol is 184. And I'm like, oh crap! Yes, he does, because he's over there eating McDonald's and pies and stuff every day.
How can you ever combat it?
Yeah, exactly. So again, it has to be everything. It can't just be.
And what do you think about this, Doc? I've heard many times that when in a lot of cases, let's say a person's trying to eat extremely healthy, I'm just going to pick the grapefruit. You always hear about the grapefruit. And then they take certain medications, and the two together can actually hurt you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the medicines are not meant to
They're not absorbed
with the healthy eating. I mean, so that has a huge...
There'll be, and again, there's so many topics.
Yeah.
There's so many things that I really I feel blessed. Like I have a platform to actually help people.
That's gonna
because it is what we're told for so many years, even by your doctor or even by your provider is just eat. Oh, you need to lose weight. Eat less. Work out more. It's not that easy. There's a hormonal component. There's there's a food. There's even the way we digest food. The whole calories in, calories out model.
Yeah.
If those calories aren't calories that like you, they're not going to digest the same way. You're not going to get the same.
If you do not have it, so we don't. Let's get this straight. We do not burn calories.
Oh, okay.
Calories
we digest
measure of
food.
heat.
Interesting.
We digest food.
Interesting.
Understand that the way we even got calories was they burned food up in a calorimeter, and they say this is how much energy it takes to burn it, and that's what a calorie is. And then we go, well, if we just eat this much and burn this much, we shouldn't lose. Energy balance is what they all say. It matters to a point.
Interesting.
But let's take it down to the most basic point. You eat 1,500 calories of donuts, and I eat 1,500 calories of salmon salad, and let's see who gains weight and who doesn't. So it's the difference in the food and the way we digest. The way we digest 200 grams of almonds isn't the way we digest 200 grams of soda.
Got it.
Right? So it's grams, 200
point
calories.
is, the point
There's a thermic effect different. The thermic effect is very different between those, and that's what you really come down to is how you burn it.
And our goal is going to be to really because yes, you can get into all the weeds that Jason and I, or we want to simplify it and give people actionable steps.
Yeah.
And that's like I have a sheet that I give patients. If I could just get y'all to do this, you'll move the ball, and then we'll improve on that, and then we'll improve. So give them quick actionable things that they can do.
So you're going to give tips, is what you're saying.
Yes.
I love that. Give tips out to keep people on track, and then it's an approach that says if you're doing these tips, start with the little by little. It's not overwhelming. We're not asking you to do everything, and then move toward going to you. And it's a lifestyle change.
It has to
so
be.
it has to be the combination of what the tips are giving them, and then going through your center, going through the nutrition,
but the
and
education,
come together.
Education has to happen because if they don't know why they're doing it, well, how come Coke's bad? Or how come this is bad? Or how come this is bad?
Yeah, because not everybody knows.
And that's the big problem. That's one of the things I kind of wanted to touch on is like one of these, like sugar. Like sugar is one of the worst toxic things we can eat, but we've really normalized it, and one of the reasons is because it's not something that's going to hurt us right now.
And let me ask that. It's a great question. When you say sugar, I always think that if I'm eating the raw sugar, the natural, the one that hasn't been bleached and it hasn't been touched, it's okay if I burn it. It's still not.
No.
See, that's what I keep telling myself, darn it.
It's not natural. So understand that there's essential amino acids that we have to have from protein.
Okay.
There's essential fatty acids that we must have from fat. There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. Our body is made to perform very, very, very well without refined and processed carbohydrate. If we look back, and that's going to be that sugar could have its own show.
Right.
And I probably will have its own show because sugar itself, it's way, way, way deeper. And people, when they understand the history of sugar and why we are what we are, it's kind of now kind of depriving your child of sugar. It's like the nutritional equivalent of like stealing Christmas. Like it's terrible. Like how dare you? But you're actually not depriving them. You're actually giving them the benefit of health.
Right.
But it's knowing what to do. So it's not going to be taking everything away. It's giving you alternatives.
Yeah, and the other big thing I love that I know you're going to be talking about is inflammation. How inflammation is the huge factor on a lot of root causes and what's going on and how you can decrease that. That's going to be another great one, I'm sure.
The holistic angle that I think we're really going to really dive into.
Yeah.
I think will really give people a really good perspective.
And options, because, we'll touch on diet in just a second, you know, everybody asks me, what's the proper diet? Because they come to me and they go, you're the keto guy. And we'll kind of talk about that. I'm not the keto guy. I did, well, I am, but I did, so in my career, how I finished my doctorate was I did my doctoral research for 2 years on the ketogenic diet as first-line treatment for type 2 diabetes. Okay? So I know it intimately in and out as far as for people with metabolic syndrome, for people that are overweight, obese, diabetic, insulin resistant, things like that. So, but here's the problem. 1 in 2 people in America now is pre-diabetic.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
40% are obese at this point.
That's crazy.
Well, obese, but 70% are overweight or obese.
Wow.
So understand
Something's
that.
going on.
So there's a tipping point
Something's
that we've
happening.
hit, and and we'll kind of touch on it. I have my notes.
You'll
but
take us to a commercial then?
Okay. So we're going to a commercial.
Okay, perfect. We're going.
We'll be back.
We'll be right back.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Turn on your glam today. The Jenna Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein lip gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY
Cupcakes and Bubbles,
91.1 FM.
located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
Woodlands Prime Lending, offering business loan programs for all types of endeavors. Need a startup loan, equipment financing, or even a business line of credit? Woodlands Prime Lending offers a variety of commercial loans to help you get funded when you need it. Call 713-900-7170 or visit us on our website at woodlandsprimelending.com to schedule an appointment today. Getting a loan is easy with Woodlands Prime Lending.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. It's time to change. If you like country, we play it. If you like pop, we play it. If you like Latin music, we play it. If you like rock and roll, we play it. Because no one does fusion music like we do. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
And we're back. We were just talking over the break with Aisha about her her actually snack of the day.
Well,
so we're going to start with
eating
that.
then?
I'm in the good seat today. I'm closer.
Spring break is next week, so I just wanted to make something really easy. It's not even really cooking. It's just basically assembling food together. I'm making these little pizza bites.
Yeah, hold them up, Jason.
Thanks, Jason.
This could
Jason
not have
is
gone better.
perfect.
Well, they unfortunately they don't keep well though. They get soggy, so
Okay.
you need to make them and eat them.
Okay.
But you just start with these little. They're called tostada breads. It's just basically
Any little
toast.
French baguette, cut it up.
Just cut it up.
Yeah.
And then you need to get yourself a marinara that you like. You can use any kind that you want. This is my favorite. Make sure it's low in sugar and low in fat because I will tell you some marinaras have a ton of sugar in them.
Yeah.
You would be surprised. So make sure you find one that's low calorie and healthy. And all you do is just scoop a little bit, about this much,
Okay.
on each little bread.
Okay.
Just assemble it like that. And then this is very important. You want your protein in there. So get yourself some Applegate uncured turkey pepperoni. It's low fat, doesn't have any chemicals or nitrates or anything in it. Put one of those on each, on top of your tomato sauce.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is there room for pineapple on these?
Sure, if you want, you can put whatever you want.
We're
In the
gonna
summer.
We'll start a whole war here.
Well, and you could do like Canadian bacon instead of pepperonis. You could do mushrooms. You could do whatever you want.
I mean, and I could make them vegetarian with spinach and don't even put
Absolutely.
tomato on them, right?
You can
Like,
put anything.
With some fresh basil.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
yes.
can put whatever you want in it.
Okay, thank you.
This is just the way that teenagers like it.
Right. So basically, you can make it to your liking,
Yes,
but the
yes.
concept, okay?
But like I'm going to make this tomorrow after school, and they'll be gone
Perfect.
because there's going to be 20
Perfect.
kids there. I'm sure it's the first day of spring break.
Nice.
And then this is part skim mozzarella.
Okay.
Just shred it up. And remember, shredding your cheese is much better than buying shredded cheese because that has
Oh, I didn't know
chemicals
that.
and preservatives
There are
in it.
additives to keep it from
Okay.
sticking
Yes.
together.
Yep,
And
cellulose.
so, and the fresh shredded cheese actually tastes way better. It tastes different. It doesn't have that chalky taste. And then you just pop it in the oven for 10 minutes on 350, and you've got a wonderful spring break snack that everyone's going to be happy
we
about,
are. It's up
and
here.
everyone's going to be healthy, and it's cheap. It's a super cheap thing to
And you
make.
can make a lot of them for all
Make
the
a
kids.
lot, yes.
Here you are, kids.
Do you want me to do the drink now?
Quickly.
Because you know,
Yes,
Doc-
yes,
it's
let's do
doctor's-
it.
that's up to him.
So we have a giant
one
bottle of
the questions
Bacardi
I
here.
always
We might as
get-
well use it.
Yeah.
So you
One
want
of
to say something about
One
it.
of the questions I always get,
Yeah.
and there's different camps on this, right?
Okay.
Health-wise, there's some people that are, absolutely no alcohol in this,
Yeah.
and understand that, last week I kind of led into what a hormetic stressor is. Hormetic stressors are things that, if we subject our bodies to for a long time, that they'll actually hurt the body, or if you do it short term, they'll actually have adaptive responses. So extreme heat, extreme cold, one of them is actually alcohol. And understand, alcohol itself is not bad. It's the things that we put in alcohol. So a lot of the sugars, a lot of the things, I'll probably eventually have a really good recipe for my old fashions that I have that are like no sugar. I'm
Can I
an
come
old fashioned guy,
that
and so
We
it's
watch-
really the hey, well, I'll bring some for everybody.
I'm teasing. Go ahead.
But the vodka is and gin are the two kind of the cleanest burning
Yay!
ones.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that is the two I drink.
But
Yeah.
a little bit, if you look through the history, 2 ounces a day or so, like that's an actually okay.
That's what I should be doing. That's
Yeah.
what I thought.
Wine
Yeah.
is one of these where that's a big question that we get all the time. And yes, you can drink wine. The problem with wine today is it's very, very, it's become increasingly more alcoholic and more sugary. So, and that's because of the irrigation, the practices that we have. Plus, in the U.S., there's 90 plus additives that are allowed, where in Europe it's like something like 20 to 30 maybe. So there's the company we like to use is Dry Farm Wines, and Scout and Cellar is actually another good one. Fit Vine Wines is someone you can find at HEB, and so they're a little bit lower sugar. But yes, alcohol is okay in moderation.
Okay.
It's like I said, watch what you mix it with, and there are alternatives. There's a lot of alternatives.
You bet.
But
The difference in making a drink with Diet Coke versus Coke.
yeah.
Or the difference. I mean,
Is one better than the other?
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
So, I mean,
actually,
diet
we'll
is-
talk about it. I'll
Exactly.
actually.
I mean, because
yeah.
you have the aspartame in the diet. I don't drink
Yeah.
diet sodas, right? But
Yeah.
I'm saying Coke is bad for you too, right? They say you can.
It's
I mean,
everything
they're
in
both
moderation.
bad, right?
And
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
we're talking 2 drinks a
And
day,
we're also talking about,
Yeah.
we got to also always go back to what is their health status. So if
bet.
somebody is
That's a very
metabolically
good point.
compromised
Already.
and they have diabetes and like
even pre-diabetic.
even
Yeah.
pre-diabetic, yeah, I need to have
Yeah.
them not eat fruits, believe it or not, and we'll
Right.
talk about that. But sodas and diet sodas and things like that. So I don't care what diet, what label you want to give it, keto, vegan, paleo, whatever, Mediterranean. there's certain premises that we need to stick to. There's no place in a healthy diet for sodas and diet sodas, chips, things like that. But we kind of fall back on, well, it's okay, but understand that it's death by 1,000 cuts. So it's not right now, and that's why kind of sugar is so insidious.
Love that point.
Because unfortunately it's an addictive drug, and it is. Yeah. But it's nothing that we see right now. It's long term. So we're like, it's not hurting me. So if you took a different drug and it caused respiratory distress, if it caused heart palpitations, if it caused slurring speech, if it caused all these things, in the short term, you wouldn't take it.
Stop it. You would stop it.
The problem with sugar is that it doesn't do any of those.
It takes it long term.
It takes a long time to build up. So.
And I love what you just said. And people caught that. Is you said everything in moderation, depending on what's going on with your body. Because if your body's already compromised, that same theory cannot apply to you. Yeah, well, you could just have a little bit of sugar because when your sugar's at 800,
well, I'm moderating. And that's
you're at 800 right now.
You're moderating. You do it. And I'm like, no. But I'm healthy. I'm healthy, and I've worked to be healthy.
That's why you have to learn your blood and know what's going on with you guys.
That's the biggest point right there. Is where are you at?
Where
personally?
are you at?
Yeah.
Because that makes all the difference in the world in the advice we're going to give somebody.
Right.
I've got some people that are on that pre-diabetic track that are coming back from that, and alcohol's out. It just is, But then we have other people that need 800 carbs a day to make their diet work.
Right.
It's completely different.
I've seen
animals.
people. So understand that I'm more on the ketogenic side personally because that's my genotype. Understand, I've had a DNA test and I'm. So like I said, there's steps. But I have seen people get shredded on a higher carbohydrate, whole food carbohydrate.
Yes.
Diet. And again, those are the details that we'll parse out.
Yeah.
But understand that just like that, a carb is not a carb is not a carb. So it'll be kind of parsing out what those details are and kind of. So this is the easiest way I can explain it. People come in and they ask me, what diet should I be on? The answer is always, it depends.
Yeah.
What is your goal? What is your health status?
And what can you stick to?
And what can you stick to?
Oh, that's important.
Yes. That's
And so we've always talked about that. So that'll be, but like we kind of went off in a rabbit hole, but I really want to see Aisha's
my drink.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we talked about.
I'll tend to do that a lot.
That's okay. But we talked about what you're mixing your alcohol with. Well, I love this liqueur.
Yeah, liqueur.
And it comes in all different flavors. It has no sugars, no additives, and this is coconut flavor. So this is kind of like a pina colada. I call it a coconut spritzer. But you just do 4 ounces of your LaCroix into a cup, with ice. I don't have ice, but, we're going to make believe. And then you do an ounce of Bacardi, so 1 ounce of that. And then here's your little sweetness, a little bit of sugar, but it also has some added alcohol, so, it helps you lower your cortisol levels. So it's 1 ounce of amaretto, and mix it all together over ice, and it is delightful and refreshing, and it gives you a beachy feel and low sugar.
You could put a cute little something on the side.
You can lime, maybe.
Understand.
Make your pinky stick out when you drink it. Mine does.
My goal is never to just be the no fun guy and to be, because understand, yes, we want to live, and yes, we would, but just like Jason's saying, where are you at? Where's your health status?
Sure.
So the goal of when you come to it's like, no, it's like none of this. It's going to be, we want you to live your life, and we were made to have a.
Well, the reality is we can't restrict ourselves the whole life, right? That's not living.
Right.
Right? There's got to be some type of
But you
balance.
can limit yourself.
Right. Most people fit into that 80-20 or 90-10 kind of rule. And if you're doing the absolute right thing for your health 80% of the time, and then 20% of the time you're doing something that you enjoy, that's probably...
But our job is going to be, what is that? Because the information that people are given is so wrong, and is driven by marketing, is driven by TV ads, stuff you see in the supermarket. I mean, so that's going to be one of the main things.
Myths,
the myths
taken away.
out of the way.
Yeah, you mentioned that. You mentioned that.
Yeah, we've got a big long list of different ideas that we're going to get through, but I think a lot of them are going to be just basic behavior changes
Yeah.
that lead to making better choices on a daily basis. And those are, we talked earlier about just walking outside in the sun, and
The simple things you can do.
we combine that with people that have digestive issues. Well, guess what? You're not just going to go stand in the sun. You're going to walk for 10 minutes while you're in the sun.
Yeah.
There's some
And
other
so
benefits.
now we start getting
Listen to a podcast while you're walking.
Right.
That's right.
Educate yourself. Listen.
There's going to be a
Listen to the show.
meditation.
Put us on
Listen
YouTube.
to
Your
them.
Headspace
There you
app,
go.
whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah, listen to the show
Listen
while
to
you're
the show
walking.
while you're
Great.
walking.
There's all kinds of different things that we'll get into, and we'll talk about the reasons for each one and why they work and how they work, and really try and help
And you'll be
people
opening the
kind of.
lines up for calls as you go forward. People.
There's going to be a bunch of
did all
barefoot
that.
hippies wandering around the woodlands.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and, and,
check-
and also,
make them
and also
healthy.
like this, bringing
Healthy
it
ones.
back, and this was actually, getting into a daily practice.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to read this, and actually my wife shared it with me, and it kind of fits into kind of what we're talking about today, and y'all will make the connection, but basically this is it's a verse from Romans 12:2,
Okay.
and it says, "Do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect."
Amen.
So it's one of those where mind, body, spirit. It's going to be a lot of things, but the problem is we've kind of, just like
Gone
it
away from
says,
that.
we've been conformed to the world, and we're letting governmental policies, food policies. You know what the biggest lobbyist group in Washington is? It's not the NRA. It's not oil and gas.
FDA?
It's not FDA. It's not pharmaceutical.
Oh.
It's big food, big ag.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
They drive a lot of our food policies that actually are making us sick. Dr. Mark Hyman has a great new book called The Food Fix, and he's tackling specifically food policies
Wow.
because just a lot of people just don't even know about them.
Well, because if it starts there and that's what's being implemented, how we, it's hard to combat it. You've got to
School programs.
Yeah.
Look at the food in our schools.
Wow.
Again,
Yeah.
the shows, we'll
You're
go
gonna
in
cover
any number of
everything.
shows.
Well, I love
Yeah.
it.
But the food programs in schools are terrible.
Yep.
They're terrible. The obesity rate, the type 2 diabetes rate is absolutely horrible in adolescents.
And you see the difference for those of you listeners and you guys that have traveled to Europe
Yeah.
and gone outside of the United States and had your food supply come for a long period of time, 2-3 weeks
Yeah.
overseas, how much healthier you get just eating the same food you eat here, but eating them there.
Oh, I'll never
Yeah.
forget.
It's unbelievable
I was
difference.
in Australia years ago, and I remember going in and looking at like cans of Coke, things that you would even imagine had nothing in it. That was, no high fructose corn syrups, none of that. And I'm thinking, and then in Europe, I would travel and I would see it, and I'd be like, well, why do we have it in ours? Well, why are they putting it?
So don't tell me that we can't do it because it's already been done.
Well, why-
right.
Yeah, so
There's
I don't
certain,
know.
yeah. So
But anyway.
well, we got to go to a commercial. We'll be
Okay.
right back with some more info.
Yeah.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your fusion radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Cupcakes and Bubbles, located at 26400 Kirkendall Road in Tomball, Texas. Cupcakes and Bubbles has the sweetest and most delicious cupcakes for the entire family. From chocolate raspberry, strawberry rhubars, cookies and cream, and the most popular among kids, the s'mores cupcake. Come and enjoy our cupcakes with a glass of your favorite bubbles. Visit www.cupcakesandbubbles.com for the complete list of our delicious cupcakes. Order online through our webpage. DoorDash and Uber Eats is available too. Enjoy life's sweetest moments with Cupcakes and Bubbles.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It started as a dream. When I was a little kid, I always wanted to have my own restaurant. And it was a dream that finally we had the opportunity to build it here in the Woodlands. And I'm so happy with it.
It's a really authentic Italian food. I try to maintain the most original possible. It's very important. Every day I make my fresh pasta.
Chi mangia bene, mangia italiano. Please come and visit us.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY.
Turn on your glam today. The Jenna Klein collection is here, elaborated with natural products. Give yourself a compliment with our organic lip glosses in more than 15 shades. With the Jenna Klein lip gloss collection, you can hydrate your lips and keep that glamorous look that you need. Turn on your glam. Visit jennaklein.com. And don't forget our skincare collection with natural ingredients that will improve the skin's appearance and prevent visible signs of aging. We have everything you need to achieve smooth and vitalized skin. jennaklein.com. Turn on your glam today.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
We all want to protect what we love. And we know that child safety seats and seatbelts save lives. Yet 3 out of 4 kids aren't buckled in correctly. And in 2016, 42% of Texas teens who died in crashes weren't wearing a seatbelt. Don't be a statistic. If you love it, click it. That includes you, too. Buckle up. Every rider, every ride.
Woodlands Prime Lending, offering business loan programs for all types of endeavors. Need a startup loan, equipment financing, or even a business line of credit? Woodlands Prime Lending offers a variety of commercial loans to help you get funded when you need it. Call 713-900-7170 or visit us on our website at woodlandsprimelending.com to schedule an appointment today. Getting a loan is easy with Woodlands Prime Lending.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
And welcome back to the show. So we are nearing the end of the show. Unfortunately, there's like so many notes, so many things that we'll be getting through, and looking forward to starting the show and kind of hitting different things. But it looks like we're going to be wrapping it up. And again, thank you for having me on the show. It's been a crash course today, but it's a lot easier having Cache and Jason, Aisha here, for support. So I hope they, they're here almost every week, if not every week. But basically, we're kind of going to wrap it up. And one of the things I want to leave everybody with is really quick for the week. Some actionable steps. Unfortunately, I will be gone next week. We're taking our kids to Disney.
And taking vacation.
Spring
I
break.
tell you what.
It was already planned. It was already planned. We're taking the kids to Disney. So I don't know what I'm more excited about.
I'll fill in.
Yeah,
Jason will be here with me.
We'll be here.
Or the food. So we do the meal plan over there. So the food is amazing at Disney. So the kids are really looking forward to it. But basically, I wanted to leave people with quick actionable steps. And what I do is I have a little sheet that I give patients to start. Yep. And if I could have them just do this stuff, it moves them along. But understand, we really there's a very, very deep need for food as medicine. Okay, there's a massive, not just health but economic impact. Okay, understand that 70% of the annual deaths in the U.S. are by chronic diseases now. So.
It's not the coronavirus.
Yeah, it's not the coronavirus.
Are you
it's
sure?
Not the coronavirus.
And I'm touching,
Okay.
But heart disease, hypertension, stroke, type 2 diabetes, all these. Understand that 6 in 10 Americans now, 60%, have one chronic disease.
Wow.
And 4 in 10, 40% of all Americans have at least 2.
Wow.
And we're talking about not just from 18 on, we're talking about like even teenagers now.
Oh.
So understand that just the economic burden of this is like $1 trillion annually. Okay, so let that sink in. Basically, our country is spending more than $1 trillion every single year on diseases that could be prevented through just the right lifestyle choices.
Our country's running sick.
Yes.
We're on an unsustainable path, an unsustainable trajectory. Okay, we're going to run out of Medicare in a few years, things like that. And understand that the majority of Medicare dollars right now, a third actually, are being spent on type 2 diabetes, and it's getting worse. And understand that type 2 diabetes is a disease, and this was my research was on, is a disease completely caused by the diet, period, end of story.
Okay.
It just is, period. So giving them insulin, giving them metformin, giving all that
Treating
in the
the
short
symptom.
term, treating the symptom, but unless they change their diet, which caused the disease, they're not going to improve. Okay? So basically, my whole point is not only would the public health benefit from a focus on the prevention of chronic disease using these tools, but the economy would hugely benefit, and that's a whole other separate deal. But there was actually a study at Milken Institute that with the right efforts, with the right lifestyle change efforts, we could avoid 40 million cases of chronic disease. So understand that medicine is acute.
Right.
It's on the acute model. So you come in, you're sick, we give it. Everything now is chronic disease, and it's a buildup. So just looking at obesity alone, declining rates could save $60 billion in treatment costs.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, it's real money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real money.
So let's localize that. These figures are crazy. But when you talk about an individual, when you talk about the money spent by an individual to treat their diabetes, or to treat any type of metabolic disease they have, you're talking about wiping out life savings in a lot of cases. People being stuck in jobs they don't want to be in because they need the insurance, because it covers their medicine. You are a prisoner of your choices. So overall, you can want to change the world, but start with you. Start with making a change in your world, your family, your kids.
Well, we call it the ripple effect. So if you change it with you, and I affect, like I'm helping a friend of mine right now who came to me, and you change his life, then he changes his family's life, and then he changes his friend's life, and they see him, they're like, so we call it the ripple effect. So that's why because if I can affect 10 people, well, those 10 people will multiply, and it's the same thing that you see with a lot of things, and it's just simple like lifestyle changes. And this isn't just like thoughts, and like there's very, very sound data.
Right.
There's one that I follow is Dr. Mozafarian. He's a cardiologist, and he's the dean of nutrition and medicine policy at Tufts University. And he basically, his statement is, the idea of food as medicine has not only arrived, but is essential for the future of healthcare in the U.S. because food, he said, is the single biggest cause of poor health in the U.S.
That's true.
It just is. So, I'll leave the majority of the stuff for another things, but like I kind of wanted to leave people with the quick actionable steps. And my number one, and I try to make it easy, and the easiest thing is like my number one rule is like don't eat anything that has a commercial.
Okay.
Like if somebody's sick, like don't eat anything that has a commercial. Understand? Have you ever noticed that every single commercial is either a commercial for drugs,
I know. Yeah.
which 40 seconds out of every 60 seconds is the side effects, right?
Right.
But then it's telling you about a new disease that you didn't know you had, and then after that it's Taco Bell, Coca-Cola, LeBron James holding up, Sprite or things like that, and sodas, Taco Bell, it's just and on and on and on. McDonald's, right? So there's no healthy food commercials.
Right.
The healthy food commercials are what for your dog. Have them eat like a wolf, right?
Exactly right.
Like a wolf.
Have them eat like a wolf.
Yeah.
Eat salmon and eat this. Don't feed them grains, and then we're eating grains.
You're basically, in summary, you're saying people have got to go back to common sense. We can be fed a lot of different stuff.
And I'll speed through these because we're about out of
You got
time.
about a
But
minute?
I got about a minute.
That's
So
fine. Okay.
one of the first things I have them do is like obviously no sodas or diet sodas
Okay.
when they're sick.
Okay.
The other one is no bread or grains, and we'll explain that at a show.
Okay.
Okay. And these are people that are sick, remember. And this one's a big one, and it's going to upset a lot of people. No cow milk.
Okay. That's
and
fine.
we'll
I just
expound
wanna
on
bring
that.
up
We'll expound on that.
almond. There's all kind of other
we'll
ones.
expound
Human
on
milk
that.
only.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. We got to figure out how I can get that, But there's other things that happen with that, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so great show.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
everybody thank you. You're going to be
you.
12 to 1 on
We'll be-
Thursdays.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
How to find us? Core.
CoreSportsHealth.com.
Yes.
And with
The
Jason.
Woodlands Contest Prep. Yeah,
And
look us up.
Aisha, delicious, nutritious.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm just Cachet. Y'all have a great day. We'll see ya. What a great show.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
See y'all next week.